Think Like a Monk is one of the fewest books that can improve your life quickly without wasting your time like other books. Let's begin. The first step to build a happy life is to live according to what really matters to you. You do this by discovering your most important values. The way you discover what you truly value is by going within and asking yourself, how would you like to live your life? In order to listen to yourself clearly, you must turn down the volume of social media, movies, opinions, and expectations because they are noise that interfere with your true inner voice. Your actions are a reflection of what you really value. If you say you value kindness, but you go ballistic when someone doesn't agree with you, your real value is being right, not being kind. Monks have a set of higher values that will inevitably lead to a happy life. These values are gratitude, service, acceptance, deep study, compassion, integrity, and kindness. The byproduct of acting these values in your life is happiness and fulfillment. If there's something abundant in life, it's negativity. The media, music, and almost every single conversation in this planet contains some negative element. The problem appears when we cannot stop thinking about negative things. This can be solved by thinking about 10 positive things that we have in our life every time we have a negative thought. We live in a world where unfortunately comparing, complaining, and criticizing are seen as normal. Jay Shetty refers to these 3 things as the cancers of the mind because engaging in them are the best way to destroy our inner peace. One of the most effective ways to get rid of negative thoughts is to make a physical purge of all the stuff that triggers a negative thought. Jay recommends also purifying your thoughts, especially the ones that have to do with greed, lust, anger, ego, and envy. You can do this with a technique Jay shares that's called spot, stop, and swap. This technique is basically noticing a negative thought, committing to not wasting time with it, and swapping it by expressing it if needed or focusing on something positive in your life. Now, let's address fear. Fear is not bad. It's a mechanism that shows us that growth is around the corner. An effective way to deal with it is to be present with your fear and rate it from 1 to 10 to put it into perspective. You can understand your fears by asking the question, why am I afraid of this? And repeat it until you clearly see the cause of your fears. This clarity makes it easier to take the actions needed to conquer fear, because the way you get around your fears is to face them. You can properly understand fear by detaching yourself from it. You are not fear, you feel fear. Acknowledge that fear is designed to call your attention to something you can change or to something that you must do that lies outside of your comfort zone. There's no point in avoiding fear because it will come back. Remember, it's meant to make us grow and become better versions of ourselves. By the way, you can get the audiobook of Think Like a Monk for free with the link in the description below by signing up to your audible.com free trial. Coming up next, let's talk about our motivations in life. Every one of us has 4 primary motivations, which are fear, which means driven by avoidance of a negative outcome; desire, which means seeking personal gratification; duty, which means motivated by doing the right thing; love, which means compelled by care for others. Fear is not sustainable because we will always be alert for something negative that might smash our happiness. Desire doesn't work because your happiness is dependent on external outcomes which you can't control. In addition, external goals can't fill internal voids. On the complete opposite side, duty and love are the real factors in achieving happiness and meaning. When we do the right things and we do them in service of a worthy goal, a higher purpose, or a person we care about, we will feel fulfilled. The byproduct will be happiness and joy. Moving on, let's talk about purpose. Your purpose can be defined as passion plus expertise plus usefulness. When speaking about purpose, you must stay true to your calling and don't try to copy anyone else's. The goal is to do work that you like and that you are good at. The great news is that you can always improve and get better, so it's just a matter of discovering what you really like to do. One way to discover what you like is to spend quiet time with yourself, reflecting on the times in which you felt excited, especially if you felt excited while you were working, not when you achieved something. Another way to discover what you like is by trying different things until you find something that clicks with you. Try doing things by yourself, with more people and in different environments. When you follow your passion, you will feel alive and in flow. You will feel comfortable, and taking action will not feel that much of a burden. And most importantly, if you use your passion to serve others, you will ensure a life full of meaning. Let's talk about creating powerful routines. Having a routine frees up your mind to wander and be creative. If you don't have one, you are basically doing random stuff every day. You have to understand that every environment has energy, and in order to thrive, it's best to use only one location for one purpose. In the same way, doing your activities at the same time every day makes them easier to repeat. When talking about activities, single tasking is the way to go. Also, monks immerse in their tasks as much as possible. You can apply this by doing each activity for an extended period of time instead of switching between tasks every 5 minutes. In the same line, the monks say that staying focused in the present moment is the only way to live a rich life, because your life is happening right now, not yesterday nor tomorrow. To create and sustain a routine long term, it's important to make sleep a priority by going early to bed, waking up early, and avoiding any kind of distractions as soon as you wake up. Use the first hours of your day to read, meditate, or even exercise. Next, we will talk about mastering the mind. Our mind can be understood as a child in relationship to its parent, which in our case is the intellect. A child wants instant gratification, and he would rather jump all around the place than stay still. His parent values delayed gratification, takes time to process what's happening, and acts accordingly. When the parent is not supervising, the child will throw tantrums and do whatever he wants. But if the parent gets too controlling, the child gets bitter and will forget how to have fun. As with all parent-child relationships, striking the right balance is an ongoing challenge, but it must be the goal of the relationship. In the same line, the child can say very harmful things without caring that usually hurt his parent. That's why you must learn to be compassionate with yourself by following this simple guideline. Treat yourself with the same love and respect you want to show others. Ultimately, realize that we are not the mind, but we definitely need to create the best relationship with it so it can work for us instead of against us. Let's move on to the ego. Our ego can be divided in two. The first one is called the fake ego, and it's the one that craves recognition and praise. This part of the ego is always demanding more stuff and more external validation. It wants special treatments, wants to be right, and wants to be approved by others. The problem arises when you discover that none of these things will bring you fulfillment. On the other hand, your real ego shows up when you're satisfied, because you don't need to prove your worth to anyone else. The real ego creates a healthy self-esteem because it is always acting for a purpose higher than itself. The real ego treats everyone with equal honor and respect. It takes responsibility for mistakes and is always seeking to learn. The real ego is always serving others and wants to make the world a better place. The real ego is humble because he knows he is only a tiny speck of dust in the vast universe. Coming up, let's talk gratitude. Jay defines gratitude as the most powerful drug in the world because its benefits affect every single organ of your body. In order to experience the benefits, it's important to practice gratitude every single day. You can write 10 things you are grateful for as soon as you wake up, or you can use reminders in your phone and give thanks for something when they pop up. Gratitude brings forth compassion, resilience, and kindness. It's often easier to give thanks for the blessings in our life, like our body, the food and water we consume, and the people in our life. But it's also very important to give thanks for the negative things because they are an opportunity to grow. You can express your gratitude to people by describing in detail what you are grateful for, and you can also do something that they value as an act of service. Moving on, all your relationships in your life are a reflection of what you give to them. Whether you give out love or hate, it will eventually return to you. The problem we have is that we usually love people who don't love us back, and we don't love people who love us because we have the wrong expectations of them. To manage expectations properly, you need to understand that there are 4 types of people in your life. Number 1, competent people are the ones that you look up to because they have skills that you want to have. 2, caring people are the ones that are always looking after your well-being. 3, people with character have strong moral values that offer clarity. And number 4, consistent people are always available when you need them. Be aware that you are drawn to people based on how they look, what they have accomplished, how they think, how they make you feel, and what are their deepest values. Out of these 5, only the last 2 are the ones that forge fulfilling and lasting relationships. And finally, the highest purpose in life is to be of service to others. No matter what you do in life, you can always help people in some way. Serving and helping other people will fulfill us and give us a deep sense of meaning. Service connects us, it amplifies gratitude, it increases compassion, and builds a healthy self-esteem. Develop a service-oriented mindset by focusing on what small things you can do to make others' lives easier and better. Service is always the answer. It fixes a bad day, it calms our temper, and it makes us feel that we matter. Just as trees provide oxygen, water quenches our thirst, and the lands serve to plant food, we are meant to serve others and the world. Aim to be that happy place that everyone is looking for, so you can leave people happier than before.